Back in Week 2, the Browns won a shootout in their first matchup against the Steelers. Can Pittsburgh get revenge? The answer comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. Gone alongside my good friend Charles Davis. And CD, for as much as the defender in you probably hates to hear it, the NFL is a league ruled by offenses, and we've got a couple of good ones about ready to do battle here.
Well, you know me quite well. Maybe one day I can get to be commissioner. I can flip that around a little bit, and we can just talk about defense. But let's face it, we're talking about two units that rank in the top 5 in the league. So I think this might be a game where you forget about the field goal. You better finish your drives with touchdowns if you want to keep up with the Joneses on the other sideline.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
On first down, McAllister. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Now the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On first down, it's Scott. Room here to run. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. They'll run with Scott. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. I mean, less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play that time for Cleveland. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll set up a throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have taken the lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 24. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club that way. I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Looking to throw on second down. McAllister throwing left side. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They'll run on first down. Scott. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. McAllister. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
To throw on third down. McAllister. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
Throwing on first down. McAllister firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Being chased out left. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep.
Escaping the pressure right. And the ball is knocked out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. You've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
To throw on second down, McAllister. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. From the gun on third down, McAllister. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Throw him, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing again, McAllister. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On third down, McAllister. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Browns' drive about to get started. He's going to air one out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. It's their quarterback with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns have moved out in front.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
101 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Two yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now back to throw. Steps away to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Point after here coming up. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taking it about the 1. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
Let's go!
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
Wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. To throw on 3rd down. McAllister, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Now this throw caught left side and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot.
And he's into the clear. The 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs. And that one certainly fell into the latter category. And that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates. They're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
125 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flushed out right. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
Good job, team. Good job, team.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage. coverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. McAllister. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick is indeed good. And that will bring the deficit back down to 3.
So he's good with that one, but remember, he did miss one earlier, and right now that's the difference in the ballgame.
And he knows it all too well, but also understands he can't dwell on it. He's got that one through. That's what counts at this point.
Takes it at the 7.
Oh, good return up past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers, the offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
2nd down and 3.
He'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
Let's go. Come on. Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Wide open receiver complete. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. It's a foot race. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this.
Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So that one overturned. They say that.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And that was the old QB one-man band play there on the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants at the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
So now the Steelers down on the scoreboard. Just over a minute 40 to play. They need a touchdown with a 2-point conversion and a field goal in either order as they've got it first down. On 1st and 10, McAllister. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Clock man critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st down, McAllister. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll look to throw again. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Looking to throw. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.